You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Maligro, Puma Podcast, and you're listening to Teka Teka. When the holiday season comes around, people would often think of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You as the iconic Christmas song. But in the Philippines, there's another iconic Christmas song that reminds us of the essence of the holidays. Macy Joven talks about Josemarie Chan's iconic Christmas track in another Puma Podcast program, Musikalikot. Have a listen.
Alam na alam natin ang mga kanta ni Josemarie Chan. Sabihin ko pa lang, Whenever I See Girls and Boys. Di ba alam niyo agad title? Pero bago nagkaroon ng Josemarie Chan, marami munang pinagdaanan ang Christmas music sa Pinas. And for that, babalik tayo sa panahon ng mga Kastila. Let's hear it from Crina Cayabyab, a musician and music educator at the University of the Philippines College of Music.
When the Spaniards came in the 1500s, the Catholic tradition of celebrating Christmas came along with them. The Christmas song tradition was, of course, heard in the liturgical ceremonies. The most popular genre is the villancico, which was actually not initially a Christmas carol or a Christmas song. It's a song genre for different feast day celebrations, such as yung mga Ascension, yung Epiphany, and kasama dun yung Christmas. Pero later on na lang, in the late 19th century, nung mas naging popular na ginagamit yung villancico during the Christmas celebrations, siya lumaganap more as a Christmas song or a kind of genre that's often used popularly outside the liturgical practices of the Catholic Church.
This is Pastores a Belen, a lively villancico song about the pastol or the shepherds going to see the baby Jesus. Spanish ang lyrics nito at hanggang ngayon, kinakanta at sinasayaw pa rin sa Pilipinas.
If we're going to describe kung ano yung nagiging structure niya and form, if you're familiar with the kundiman na meron siyang major and minor relationship mode na it starts off first with a minor mode and then later on it goes on to its relative major mode. So ganun din yung naging harmonic form ng mga villancico. Pag major mode, it makes you feel more light or upbeat or happy. And then the minor mode has a darker, dimmer effect.
To illustrate this, here's a sample. That's the major mode, while this yan ang minor mode. Ngayon, sakto noong 1930s, isinulat ang Ang Pasko Ay Sumapit, na isa sa mga kilala nating traditional Filipino Christmas songs.
It's believed to be originally written in Cebu by Vicente Rubi and Mariano Vestil. Pero hindi siya originally, a Christmas carol. It was part of a play. And then later on, na haango ito at ginamit ito ni Josefino Cenizal na parang marching song siya sa isang pelikula in 1938. Tapos nun, later on in the 1950s, nilagyan ito ng Tagalog lyrics ni Levi Celerio at siya ang naging kilalang Ang Pasko Ay Sumapit. 1940s, you have Payapang Daigdig. Ang gabi payapa na tatahimik. It was usually compared as the Tagalog version of Silent Night. And then later on in the 1960s, mas dumami pa yung mga kanta ni na Felipe De Leon, yung tambalan nila ni Levi Celerio, yung Pasko na naman, and then yung Noche Buena, and then meron din yung kanta ni Serapio Ramos, yung Himig ng Pasko. Usually, hindi natin maalala yung title, but in the melodic line, for example, malamig ang simoy ng hangin.
In the 70s, combining English and Filipino lyrics became a widespread practice. And so, the first Taglish Christmas song was born.
There's one, I think it's from Davao, composed by Hermie Uy and Fe Ayala. Kung familiar ka dun sa kanta ni Susan Fuentes, who's a Visayan singer, yung Miss Kita Kong Christmas. So ito naman, significant din ito dahil sa 1975 to ginawa at naging sikat dahil sumabay siya sa daloy ng Manila Sound na naging sikat noon.
Again, by the 90s, the recording industry had already boomed. Umabot na sa mas maraming tao ang mga kantang pinapatugtog pagpasko. At nakatulong ito ng sobra sa susunod na pag-uusapan natin. Eto na siya, si Jose Marichan. JMC had a lot of Christmas hits, but because of frequent radio airplay and its omnipresence, ang pinakakilala nating awit ay Christmas in Our Hearts. Ano bang inspiration nito?
Yung melody daw ng Christmas in Our Hearts ay galing sa isang kanta na sinulat niya para sa kaibigan niya na ang title ay Ang Tubig ay Buhay. So that was in 1988. So in 1990, his producer during that time, si Bella Tan, asked him to write a Christmas song. He tried to remember the Christmas songs that he grew up with. And itong mga songs na to ay puro yung mga American Christmas songs. And he singled out one song which was entitled Little Christmas Tree.
Little Christmas tree, no one to buy you, give yourself to me. You're worth your weight in precious gold.
And from there, he took the inspiration of starting off with a minor mode, going to a major mode, which is, sabi nga niya, very Filipino, coming from that kundiman and villancico structure or form. So maybe we can find that connection. Yung melody na naisip niya, influenced from the Christmas songs he grew up with, and yung Ang Tubig ay Buhay in 1988. It became a really big hit in the 1990s. Sabi nga ni Jose Marichan, double diamond seller daw yung kantang yun.
Grabe, double diamond! That's 800,000 copies sold. And to this day, guess what? Ang number 1 best-selling album pa rin sa buong Pilipinas ay ang Christmas album ni JMC. 1990 hanggang ngayon, bakit nasa puso pa rin ng Pinoy ang Christmas in Our Hearts? Hold on to that question, cause we'll be back after the break. Both Christmas in Our Hearts and its singers have their own charms. And yes, you heard that right. Singers. Dahil hindi lang si Jose Marichan ang kumakanta rito. Kasama niya ang anak niyang si Liza Chan. Pero balikan natin ang tambalan nila mamaya. Pag-usapan muna natin yung kanta. We're here with another special guest to break down the song for us.
I'm Lara Katrina Mendoza. I'm a teacher at Ateneo. I'm an assistant professor with the Development Studies program. I'm a musician. I'm an ethnomusicologist. So in the CCP Encyclopedia of Arts music volume, I wrote about Jo Marichan several years ago, just trying to really give an overview of his impact in the music scene of the Philippines, in the sense that his OPM contribution.
Okay, so usisain muna natin yung lyrics. Bukod sa opening line na kumalat sa internet dahil naging meme, you know, yung whenever I see girls and boys na ginawang whenever I see girls and the boys and girls see me. Ano bang espesyal dito?
The strongest appeal of the song is in its lyrics. It tells the Christ story. The lyrics hove to Pinoy sentimentalities with its with its appropriate religiosity, nativity scene story rooted in the Holy Family dynamics. Quote unquote, this season may we never forget the love we have for Jesus. So it's not as materialistic as people making lists, buying special gifts. Hindi siya ganon. Nakakapanglinis ng budhi yung kanta. Kasi it mentions virtues of giving, sharing, rather than taking, acquiring. It's not just feel good. It's a song that invites you to be good. So when you hear it at Christmas, it's a reminder of how beautiful and simple life can be if people were just kind and good to each other.
Totoo. And it speaks to our inner hopes, di ba, for a bright tomorrow. Dahil yun din naman ang gusto nating lahat. Kaya napaka-uplifting ng kantang to. Speaking of lyrics, we also noticed that although Pinoy song ito, English ang salita.
It's something that we are used to as a people. We mimic styles from the West. Diba? So when we hear English, it's an aspirational language, diba? Ako, I'm a linguist rin, no? So parang I do not subscribe to the idea na dahil Inglesero ka, mas magaling ka or mas matalino ka. Okay, so hindi ako nagbe-believe doon. However, I cannot also discount the fact that if you hear somebody speaking English or Inglesero nga, parang biglang lume-level up yung tingin sa tao.
Krina has another take on this.
Kung sa 70s, karamihan ng mga awitin ay pinush nila na magsulat in Tagalog. In the 80s, tuloy pa rin naman yung pagsulat ng Tagalog, pero marami ring mga awitin na sinulat na in English na. If you know the hits of, let's say, Odette Quesada, yung mga don't know what to do whenever you are near, don't know what to say, yung mga yun. Those songs became hits, and Jose Marie Chan was also known to write English lyrics rather than Tagalog. And maybe in the 1990s, this was yet again something new, and it caught on to the listeners na, uy, English na Christmas song na gawa ng isang Pinoy.
Mapapansin din natin na rooted sa Filipino Christmas experience ang mga instrumentong ginamit.
I believe that Christmas is true.
So with Jo Marie singing, it's a plucked, nakatikla siya sa keyboard, pero yung sound niya, sinisimulate niya yung plucked strings. Tapos ayun na, pumapasok na yung kampana, parang simbang gabi.
Nations are at peace.
Before you head to the refrain where his daughter comes in.
Let's sing Merry Christmas and a happy...
Tapos pumasok na yung drums. Meron pang, syempre may bass line. May bass guitar. Pero yun basically lang, it's a bass guitar, it's a synthesizer, and sound effects. Yan. Yung matingkad talaga nun, ay yung significant nun, pumapasok yung kampana ng simbahan sa background and it punctuates the song.
Have you noticed that a lot of Christmas songs use bells? These bells? Tulad nga ng sinabi ni Lara, ang mga kampanang ito ang kadalasang naririnig sa simbahan. Tinatawag ang mga tao para dumalo sa simbang gabi, na isang original Pinoy tradition. Finally, we can't deny that Jose Marie Chan's voice gives us Christmas vibes. Not just because we hear his songs every Christmas, but because there's something in the quality of his voice.
Okay, so it's lilting, light, conversational. He sings kasi as if nagkukwento lang siya sa listener. Siguro kaya magaan sa tenga. As a tenor, mataas yung boses niya. There is always an appeal pag mataas kasi childlike. So in that sense, it evokes something that is simple, uncomplicated. And because it's young, it's a young sound, it's not expected to be perfect. or polished. In that sense, actually very raw nga si John Marie Kumanteng. Very straight lang yung pag-deliver niya ng mga lines niya. At ganun din ang ginawa ni Lisa sa refrain. Wala silang mga Lea Salonga kulot sa huli na, alam mo yung mga the Broadway touch, yung biglang may hahabol na vibrato or biglang lalakas yung voice sa huli. Wala silang ganyan.
Kaya naman bumabalik ang alaala ng kabataan natin nung simple lang ang buhay at sabik na sabik tayo sa Pasko. The singing style and timbre of JMC's voice fit the season so perfectly. At lalo pang pinaramdam sa Pinoy ang kahalagahan ng pamilya nung kaduet na niya ang anak niyang si Liza. Jose Marichan and Christmas in Our Hearts have found a special place in the Pinoy heart. Biruin nyo, mahigit 3 dekada na ang kantang to pero buhay na buhay pa rin sa bawat pagdiriwang ng Pasko. At halata ang excitement natin kay JMC dahil, aminin nyo, September 1 pa lang, sinashare nyo agad yung meme niya na nakasilip sa pader. Uli ko kayo, no? Pero kidding aside, tulad ng lahat ng akdang parte ng Filipino Christmas music tradition, timeless talaga ang Christmas in Our Hearts dahil tumutugon ito sa mga malalalim na pangarap at sentimiento ng Pilipino. Anumang henerasyon tayo kabilang. Sabi nga ni Lara,
sa ethos natin sa Pinoy, di ba? We help each other, we're there for each other. You're kapit busy with somebody. That's why it's a beautiful song for the Christmas season because, we have such a screwed up society and everything's just always dark. Then you hear this beautifully simple song with this uncomplicated voice and this eternal message lang of how it is to be, di ba? To just be good to one and all. Parang nakaka-comfort yun, nakaka-ground.
And that was today's episode of Teka Teka. I'm Tatiana Maligro. The episode of Musicalicot you just listened to was produced by Macy Oven and edited by Nico Bolante, and put together for Teka Teka by Jill Caro and Anthony Tobias. Christmas in Our Hearts has been an iconic song that every Filipino knows, so it was great to learn about this. If you know someone who's curious about the story behind this iconic Filipino Christmas song, it would mean a lot if you shared this with them. And of course, be sure to follow Musicalicot wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening!